welcome back to my channel. So today I have used the Anastasia Subculture palette again. I'm not going to talk about what I think of the palette or anything like that. If you're new to my channel or you just haven't seen the videos, my last two Subculture videos, which I will leave down below, I talked about my thoughts on the palette, so check there if you want to know what I think of it. But I've done another look using it, and it's one a little more out there than the other looks that I've done with it so far. I'm trying to incorporate more details into my makeup looks rather than just doing like a normal half cut crease, a halo eye, you know, those types of things. So I hope you guys enjoy this look, and if you'd like to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Alright, so I'm starting off pretty zoomed in because I'm doing my eyes first today. I've already done my brows using my Anastasia Dip Brow in Ash Brown, and I've just primed my eyes using some concealer. I'm going to be using the Subculture palette today. I'm going to start with the shade Edge, and I'm just going to be running this all the way through my crease, and I'm going to be winging it out as well. Next, I'm taking the shade Destiny, and I'm going to be running this through my crease but keeping it lower on the lid, and I'm also going to be focusing the pigment on the outer corner. Whenever I dip into the shadow and then put it on my lid, I'm going to place the brush first where I want the most pigment. So I want to deepen up the outer corner but also the crease. So I'm just placing it there first and then blending what is on my lid out. I'm also just building the colour up. I'm not going in too heavy-handed because you guys know the Subculture palette is extremely pigmented. Next, I'm going into the shade Untamed, and I'm basically just repeating the same process. I'm just deepening up the crease and outer third. And then I'm taking the shade Axis, and once again I'm repeating the exact same steps. I'm going to make sure I bring Axis more towards the center of my lid though, so that there's like a lot of color in this outer corner, so that when I cut the crease it doesn't I don't know, I just want a lot of color in this outer corner. When I bring it into the crease more though, I'm going to be a lot more precise with it. I'm not going to put any actually in the crease, I'm just going to take what I've placed on the outer corner and blend that into the crease. Next, I'm taking my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I'm going to be cutting out the inner half of the crease. As always, I'm just going to bring it slightly above my natural crease so that when I open my eyes, you'll still be able to see it. Then I'm going to take the shade Dawn, and I'm going to use this shade to set the inner half of the crease. And then once I've gotten to almost halfway, I'm going to take Edge again, and I'm going to use that to set the rest of that concealer. And then I'm just going to go back in with one of the blending brushes I used earlier, and I'm just going to diffuse this line where the yellow meets the greens. And then I'm going to take my NYX Vivid Brights liner, and I'm just going to draw a line where I cut the crease. Alright, so that's where I'm going to leave it for the eyes for now. I'm going to move on to my base now. I'm going to start off with my Too Faced Hangover Primer. It's kind of dried up a little because I had to actually cut the tube open to get the bits that were at the bottom because there was heaps left over. But obviously I can't reseal it after that. So it's kind of dried up and it's less like a cream now, it's more like a putty. but it still feels really hydrating, so hopefully it still works the same way. And then in the center of my face, I'm just going in with my Australis See You Later Pores primer. I'm going to be mixing two foundations today. I'm going to mix my Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. If I can get any out of this, I can't tell, but I might be like at the end of it, so we'll see. But I'm gonna mix that with my NYX Total Control foundation drops. Okay, I was able to get like a pump and a half out of that, so that's good. And I'm just gonna mix that with the NYX one. I wanted something really full coverage because my skin is breaking out like crazy. But the Kat Von D one just doesn't work for me by itself. I have to mix it with a lighter foundation. Lighter as in consistency, like thinner foundation. Because otherwise it's just way too much. It's too thick and accentuates all my texture. And I'm just going to blend this out with a beauty blender. And then I'm just going to go in with my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. I'm just going to use this under my eyes. Actually, I'm going to use this just on my forehead a little as well because there's just some blemishes that don't want to be covered there. And just down here on these ones. I'm going to be using my Tarte contour palette today, and I'm just going to set under my eyes with this pink toned powder. And I'm just setting the rest of my face with my Face of Australia translucent powder. And then just taking the Tarte contour palette again, I'm just going to mix both the contour shades. I find this palette is just slightly too dark and slightly too grey for me. I don't know, like it's pretty good if you want a really intense contour, but I feel like it just looks weird on my skin. So I prefer more of a subtle contour. Like even the kind of bronzing shade is pretty cool toned and dark, so I feel like it doesn't blend well. It looks a little too harsh on my skin tone, which I'm kind of bummed about because I love this contour palette just for the fact that it has a blush in it. I feel like more contour palettes should have that. Just because it's like so travel friendly and stuff. You know, it's really convenient and I wish the colour was better suited to my skin tone. And I am just going to use the blush that is in that palette today. Wow, that is really pigmented. Just gonna go back in with my beauty blender and bring that back a little. And to highlight, I'm just taking my Anastasia Gleam Glow Kit. I have just started picking this up again because I I've got so many glow kits that I didn't use this that much, and I picked this up again and the formula in the original glow kits was so good. I wish more of their newer ones were like that. I'm just gonna take Starburst. Their newer glow kits are very metallic and glittery, which I like sometimes, but I wish they had more that were more like the original formula because it's just like such a nice, like not natural because it's still really intense, but it's like a glossy highlight rather than metallic. I feel like the metallic highlights work really well for like the Moonchild and Aurora glow kits, but some of their other ones I wish they had more of these really glossy highlighters. I really love this formula. Alright, so I'm moving back to the eyes. I'm just going to finish off the lower lash line first. I'm going to go in with All Star, and I'm just going to take this all the way along the lower lash line. And I'm going to like connect it up with... Oh. Alright, I fixed it up. Crisis averted. I'm going to just connect it up with the green shadows that are in the outer corner there. My under eyes are super dry at the moment, so they're getting all creasy, so I'm just going to bring this further down than I normally would and like really smoke it out so it kind of hides it. This is like my favorite thing to do when my eyes are like excessively dry. Just bring this down quite low. And then I'm just going to dip into Rowdy. I'm just going to go back in and put this really, really close to the waterline, like as close as I can get it. I think I could possibly be slightly allergic to something that is in that Rowdy shadow, because I got it like really close to my lash line, so I got some in my eyes, and my eyes are watering really bad now, and my eye is like super bloodshot. I have one Zoeva palette and it happens to me with that palette, so I don't know, maybe I'm like allergic to some of the ingredients, I don't know, but it's really stinging. I'm gonna keep going though because there's no point taking it all off now. I haven't had that problem with any of the other shadows in this palette, and I've gotten really close with other shadows, so I think I'll just be a little more careful with that shadow when I use it next. I'm going to take the shade Electric, and I'm going to use this in my inner corner. Wow, I got way too much of that on my brush. Oops. And then I'm going to go back in with my Vivid Brights liner, and I'm just going to do some spots in the inner corner. I'm going to vary the sizes, so I've got like some big ones, some smaller ones. And now I'm going to do a dotted wing. I'm going to use 3 different liquid lipsticks for this. I'm going to start off with my Anastasia liquid lipstick in Potion. And I'm just going to go in and do a bunch of dots like in the shape of a wing. And again, I'm going to vary the sizes. Next, I'm going in with my Colourpop liquid lipstick in Dr. M. And I am partially overlapping some of these dots. And lastly, using my Anastasia liquid lipstick in Sepia. This one is a tad lighter, so it's just going to add a little more dimension to it. So now I'm just popping on some mascara. This is my Tarte Lash Paint mascara. This has quickly become one of my favorite mascaras. I'm definitely gonna have to purchase a full size once I run out of this. I was actually going to buy a mini one when I did my Tarte order, but then they had like the mini one for like 37 cents or something like that, so I just picked it up with that. I am a huge fan of buying sample sizes of high-end mascaras. Sample sizes of anything high-end really. Like, it isn't quite as good value, but it's worth it to save you from buying a product that you don't end up liking and you've got like the whole full size of it. And I'm going to pop on falsies. These are my Eyeallure lashes in the style 141, I think. If I've got that wrong, I'll leave it listed down below. And I'm just going to finish this off with the lips. I'm going to just use the Anastasia liquid lipstick in Sepia. Alright, so that's it for this look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Get used to these types of looks. I'm trying to step out of my comfort zone. I feel like I've gotten too comfortable with all of the makeup I've been wearing. Like, I've still been wearing bright colors, but it's like the same shape as I always do. So I'm trying to branch out a little more. So yeah. If you did like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up so I know you liked it. And don't forget to subscribe while you're at it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.